What's up, gamers? Welcome to the Housebled podcast. It's me, your boy Cody. This time I'm hosting along with my friends.
Hi
Feel free to
guys,
introduce yourself.
and it's your boy Hans.
And it's your above average guy, neutral state.
Above average.
Hell yeah. Neutral Sid, as the username states, is our guest for today. And we're going to talk about video games. So, before you begin, how was your evening? How is your evening?
Pretty okay.
Go ahead.
Sure. Pretty normal. Just recently played a few games here.
Yeah,
Uh,
we play games because we're gamers. It's the gaming
Gamers.
episode. My God.
Yeah,
So,
it's for me. Like I'm currently just drinking the Monster Energy drink
oh,
because I'm
Monster
pretty
Energy,
tired.
the gamer's choice.
Yes, the gamer's choice, bro.
The fucking
Because
gaming
I'm a
episode.
gamer. I have this
Yeah.
pink gamer chair right behind me.
God.
But yeah, my evening's pretty good. I've ate dinner and I'm currently drinking.
Good to hear. So, now we're in this gaming episode and we're in a gaming mood. Let's talk about games. So,
Of course,
what's
this is the
been.
gaming episode.
Yeah. I have my gamer socks and my gamer gloves and everything. Gamer socks. So, what games are popular nowadays? What are you guys playing?
of course, the upstart Genshin Impact.
Upstart.
Yeah, You're the only guy here in here, Cody, that doesn't play Genshin
I
Impact
I
Well,
right now.
you
played
used to play.
Genshin for like a month
Yeah,
before
emphasis
quitting.
on played. Right then,
Played.
when you quit, we all
Oh,
played.
for the record, for the Genshin people who will somehow watch this, I'm a MiHoYo fanboy. So it's not about hating the devs or anything. I just don't like the game. It it's a preference. Okay, you can talk about Genshin now.
Says the Bay domain.
The old Bay domain. So, what do
Yeah,
you like
me and
about
JM
Genshin?
just. Uh, I'm gonna go first, and the first thing that hooked me into Genshin was really the story aspect of it and the open world mechanic. Because I really like
Mm,
open world mechanic, and especially the player versus environment types. I don't really like going into PvP stuff. Yeah,
mm, well, how about you,
For
that
JM?
me, it's roughly the same. But what got me in was the design of the characters. For me, that's a huge plus. Because if I didn't like the characters, I wouldn't be playing this game. Even though it's an open world,
Excuse me.
based on the market, it's very good.
yeah, Genshin has been pretty big. I think we're at what, like 40 million by the time it was around 3 months old, right? I think it
Yep.
was a 40
I'm not
million
sure.
player fan base. Yeah, because you don't play.
Don't play anymore.
Although I do recall, Cody, that you have played a lot of Honkai Impact, right?
I still do. In fact, I can
Oh,
tell
you
you
still do?
What Genshin is inspired from. A
I
little.
see.
Let's see. Yeah, a little bit of story from a Honkai player. About, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago, Honkai suddenly
Uh-huh.
opened up with a new mode. It's an open world mode, and it was probably one of those well received patches that day. So much so that I believe they started dev for Genshin just from that, from the positive reception they got from that. And you can see the bones from it. You gather materials, you fight monsters, move around,
When
and
was
yeah,
that released? Because if I remember
sometime
correctly, I think
2018 or
Genshin
2019.
started developing back in 2017.
Yeah, somewhere along those lines.
So maybe they used that patch for on Honkai Impact to test the waters.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, I believe they used Honkai for a lot of testing because a lot of the
Hmm.
features that ended up on Genshin were brought to Honkai first, and either they got patched out or they get added permanently. And I can see the
Was
skeletons.
Honkai was
Yeah,
Honkai first was Honkai the first MiHoYo game ever? Or not really?
no, it wasn't. It's actually there were a lot of games midway, but it's one of the most well known in ignoring Genshin. There's also Gun
Mm.
Girls, which is a completely different game.
Wait, that's a MiHoYo game?
Yeah, apparently it is.
No, I
It
haven't played that, so
What?
even it shares the
I don't
same
have an
universe
idea.
with Honkai.
What?
Yeah, same characters, same universe, but just a different story. Well, not exactly the same universe, but you get the deal. It's kind
So
of
what
like a alternate reality thing.
I want to ask JM, like, how would you feel if MiHoYo suddenly stated that they're bringing a shared universe within all their games? Because
That would be believable.
we've already been seeing glimpses, such as Yae Sakura being mentioned in Genshin, even though she's
Yeah.
a Honkai character.
I mean, I personally don't mind. In fact, I would probably more incentivize to play
Yeah.
because I never really
Hmm.
experienced Honkai characters, but I've been hearing good things.
Honestly,
And
that's what they're gearing towards,
yeah,
in my
I
opinion.
mean, it's very easy to cross over them because it's the same
Yeah,
company,
Yeah.
so very easy to cross over. And
because I think
you
they've
could
been
easily create a
teasing.
story.
They've been teasing a lot of I mean Honkai characters on Genshin, such as maybe Raiden, and of course, yeah, Yae Sakura.
Yeah.
Uh,
I could see
I
that.
think they've teased Kiana a bit on officials history. I don't know.
Oh,
I just
really?
saw it on the internet.
Man, the fucking first god you see in Genshin looks exactly like God Kiana, the other
Yeah,
character in Honkai.
the unknown
Exactly.
god.
Yeah. And the
Oh
current story
yeah,
arc for Honkai actually involves multiverses. So it's pretty easy to just
Mm,
justify, oh, Genshin World is another universe that they can go to. Because the story itself kind of supports it.
and there's like an ongoing theory way back that there's a Honkai phenomenon involved in Genshin's overall lore. So
oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
regarding the abyss, yeah.
I've heard of it.
So
So,
Man,
it yeah,
the fan
for me,
theories are coming in.
for me, it's like there, it's easy to
fucking MiHoYo
transition.
fanboys. It's a nice universe, and I think they did a good job with the games. There are some
Mhm.
complaints, of course, that's unavoidable, but uh, for the most part, I think they're doing well
They're pretty
so
receptive
far.
to fans too, I think.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Especially with
So,
the Zhongli update.
if you'd like to compare Genshin and Honkai to a degree to other gacha games, what? Hmm. How do I say this? What do you think is up to par with them, or as nice or as fun as them? Or do you guys even play other gachas, or is it just me?
For me, I don't play much gachas, but I've been hearing stuff about Fate Go.
My only experience in gacha way before Genshin was a third person shooting game called Microvolt. If
Oh,
anybody heard of it,
Microvolts. That's an old game.
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah, that
Damn.
that had gacha for a third person shooter. And the problem with that game, not only was the weapon so imbalanced, and it's a PvP, that gacha had no pit. Like
Had no what?
it had no pity at all.
Oh, that sucked.
You can
Well, be coming
literally,
and be like,
Cough,
I'm the
cough,
king now,
FGO,
bitch.
cough, cough.
and here's the thing, like that was the time where petty chances weren't even discussed in the
Hmm.
no.
Mm,
Recently, it's like required to have to let
Pity
the players
system.
know the rates
Mm.
before it before before it wasn't discussed at all, and there was no
Hmm.
pity. And me and Ken, honestly, we were lucky to when we spent money on that. I
Honestly,
remember
the
spending.
pity system. Oh, you can. I'm just gonna continue after you.
Honestly, I spent over 20K back then when we were in college. I remember
20k
spending
pesos.
20K. Yes. Hey,
Jesus.
Shit.
here's the thing. Like I had like an addiction at that time. Like I used
Gambling
my
addiction?
allowance.
You mean like
Yeah.
now?
No, not that. It's controlled because
Man, I'm
it's
bad.
not like before.
I
Like
can
Casinos
quit
I was
anytime. I'm in
sacrificed
control.
food. I sacrificed food just to buy.
Oh
Damn.
boy, that's some dedication, I guess.
Like literally,
Although,
the only time I eat is when I'm at home.
so that's
And
why whenever we ate at
this
like,
is something where it had no pity, and I was lucky enough
mhm.
to get stuff I wanted.
Man, you guys are luck
Mm.
sucks in gotcha, especially
Because
Ken,
we
the other
suffered
friend we
years
don't have
before,
here.
Hans. We suffered the gacha hell years before. It's our payment for all that suffering.
And goddamn, you guys flex that shit on me every time. I swear to God,
That's the only
you
reason
guys
you play
slap the
gacha, to
shit out of
flex.
me.
So what I was going to say earlier was the pity system for gacha games in general was relatively new. Well, of course it existed back then, but it's not exactly
Not common.
regularized on every other game. You can
Mhm.
still see it in some of the older Japanese games. Let's say FGO. FGO does not have a pity system.
Wait,
It
until now?
until now there is a pity system,
Wait,
but
for real?
it's so absurdly high that you won't even think it exists. You need to like roll several URs back to back in order to exchange it for one UR, which is fucking impossible to tell. I've seen hyper whales that haven't even reached it. So, anyways,
Wow.
I,
the pity system
I've been.
is especially in Japanese games basically doesn't exist until the point where the Chinese gacha games started implementing the pity systems, and everyone was like, "Wait, this is so much better." So there was a push to add those to the other games such as Love Live,
That wasn't common sense enough.
yeah, and eventually I
Like
think
people are actually
most,
spending their money and they can't even guarantee a character.
yeah, it's actual gambling. Ain't it fun?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's
because I
probably.
think Japan generally has this gambling addiction.
Oh,
Like
I can see
everywhere
that.
you go, there's pachinkos, which is like slot machines or the pinballs.
Oh, let
It's
me tell you
Even
the
everywhere.
the
even
special
getting a
Japanese
ticket
server.
for a concert is a fucking gacha.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
getting
that's
tickets,
true.
right? Getting
No,
tickets
no,
to a
no.
concert,
There's an
that's
actual
it's a
reason for
fucking
that.
gotcha.
I talked to one of the Japanese dudes on the other servers, because there was an event for Hololive wherein the tickets were like gachafied or by chance.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's to say. I mean to say. How do I describe this? It's chance based, so other people who aren't super rich have a chance to get it. Because if it's a flat, high price, only rich people can get it. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
gachafied, there's still a price, but anyone can get it since it's chaos is fair apparently. So
Though
there's
me
that aspect.
personally, I don't really like that whole system. I'd rather pay a high price to get a guarantee
Guarantee.
than
But it's only for the idle
previously I
thing, I
can.
guess.
Yeah, because for me previously I can just save money for that. If usually they announce the event before months before it happens, so I have enough time to save up for a guarantee instead of just relying on the gacha
'Cause the thing
to
is
get
with
a.
these raffles, and I've experienced this on buying limited edition sneakers, is that they ask you to buy this ticket for like what 500 pesos or something. So you pay 500 pesos, and it still doesn't guarantee you a slot. It only enters you in the lottery, but it doesn't guarantee that you're gonna win the lottery, especially with a large number of people, like a large pool.
It's just a
There's
chance
no
to get in.
guarantee. And what's more invigorating than that is not invigorating, more like irritating or something. You pay this 500 peso ticket, and then let's say you win the raffle and you get the shoe. You
Yeah.
basically you still need to pay you still need to pay in full. So it's like paying for the item plus another 500 bucks.
So you're
Wow,
paying for
that's
the chance to get the item.
Yeah.
though.
Which is
Wow,
stupid. Which is stupid. I
paying full
honestly think
price
it's stupid.
with extra steps.
No, but the difference within the examples that you guys said and the examples that I stated, because those are physical objects. You can get
Yeah.
something from them. In
Hmm.
gacha games in general, most you get is what, a PNG and a bunch of stats.
It's
See,
digital.
Gambling with
There's a
attitude.
difference.
It's gambling with attitude. It hits different.
Yeah. So that's the deal with gacha games. uh, I have to comment though, especially on the gacha scene. The
Mm,
Chinese devs are really killing it right now.
yes,
Arknights, Honkai, Genshin. There are some other
yes.
games which I just forgot. It feels like they're beating the Japanese at their own game at this point. Because this
Yeah,
is the
pretty
most
much.
popular.
I mean,
Uh,
Genshin's like number. Hey, here's the thing. Genshin is number one in Japan.
Yeah,
yeah.
which speaks a lot of volumes since there's a lot of competition in Japan. It's
Hmm.
basically the gotcha where the
And
gotcha
you
originated
guys don't
from.
have much gacha experience, right? I'm just
Yeah,
asking for
for me,
reference.
yeah, I don't have much.
Because I
Although,
actually
based on the things that I've heard from you guys, it's pretty shit. It's a pretty shit experience.
it's something. You definitely have some sort of mental illness to play a lot of gacha, like say Paolo, our other friend who plays like what 6 gachas and still plays
Man,
them
I admire
regularly.
that guy
Wait, wait,
for
wait.
being able to take on the stress of gotchas.
Wait. Currently, he's paying for 6 gacha games.
Last time I checked, it might be 3. Who knows? He always
Paula,
switches it
please
up.
comment down below if that's true. Please fact check
God,
us.
yeah, me, I played a lot too, but I only like concurrently played 2, then just quit whenever. The last gacha game I played was Arknight, which is still really good. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't have the time for it. If I had to comment if I like FG or Arknights more, I definitely had way more fun in Arknights.
Just
The
for
gameplay
me,
is fun.
coming
It,
off
as
from like what
a,
Cody was saying, gameplay.
Yeah.
What what doesn't what makes Genshin different for me is that the amount of immersiveness that you get from Genshin versus playing Fate Go, and you can basically leave it on your phone running and you'll get stuff. For me, that wasn't very enjoyable experience. I'd rather like grind myself through the game.
Oh, I would actually relate to. I have a counter argument to that because the only reason I still play Fate Go is because there's no auto system. And
Yeah,
notice in other farming gacha games, there's an auto system. But
yeah,
yeah,
in
that's
Fate, you don't
what
have
turns
that.
me
Every
off
battle,
as
you have
much.
to control the battle. You have to think about what's happening, which is the only part of the reason I still play Fate Go.
Hmm.
Because I still have to think about shit while playing, even though I'm
Does
just
Fate
farming.
go a turn-based system? I don't know. I
It
haven't
is.
played Fate any.
It is.
I
It's
haven't
basically
even
a
touched
battle
any
card.
Fate series.
Oh, that's a pretty big fucking. That's a pretty big mind. We're not gonna start discussion on Fate series now. We're gonna be here for like 3 hours. Jesus.
I don't want to get into that side of things. I don't want to go into the Fate universe
Yeah. Oh, there
I,
was
I,
this
I
other game.
basically gave up in the Fate lore
for
at some
sure.
point. I
Honestly,
really tried. I really
if
tried hard just getting
Yeah,
enough information in the wiki pages,
the
but
thing
I
is,
gave
it's
up
just
partway.
such a big fucking universe that if
It's a
you
rabbit
it's
hole.
want,
basically like the
if you
Marvel
follow
universe
the
at this
entire
point.
thing, you can't. Well, you can, but
Yeah,
it's gonna be real fucking hard. Just pick a niche, have fun. There's a lot of niches in the entire Fate universe. Look at me. I just stay in the FGO and the some of the older ones. I don't follow the
back
entire thing.
back then when I was trying to get into it, like I even asked my cousin who played Fate Go on how to get into the anime and like the right order of watching the series. And when I saw his recommendations, I was like, okay, I'm saving this. But after a few days, I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
I am not getting into this. I don't want to stress myself out.
I'd like to compare it to Monogatari in that there's just so many fucking series that you have to watch.
Mm,
You don't have to watch it, but it's there.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now transitioning. So the gacha system in uh Genshin, Honkai, Fate, GBF, Arknights, you get a unit, right? Which is essential for gameplay.
Yeah.
But what do you
Yes.
think about the gacha systems in, like, say, first-person shooters like Apex, where it's all cosmetics, no gameplay whatsoever? You can also say the same for about the other uh, other loot box systems, which all have cosmetics. Are they fine for
I
it?
think for me, I think I'm not as pressured. If I'm playing those games, I think I'm not as pressured to purchase them because they don't change the way I play.
Yeah, there's
Unless
no
They
real incentive to buy them.
I
yeah.
think here's the thing. Here's the thing. For first person shooters, most of the time, if it's a like a character skin, I feel like I'm not getting its worth because I'm not seeing myself, you know.
Hmm.
Oh, I
But
can see that.
if it's a weapon skin, that's an entire thing. I would
That's a
like
different discussion,
I would
right?
pay like
Yeah.
I would pay for a weapon skin because I'm seeing it all the time. Unlike a character skin. That's why back when I was trying to get into Overwatch, like I think at first like I've seen like the character skins like it's very good, like good design.
Yeah.
But majority
Hmm.
of the time you only see it at like what at the end, like when the at the end screen of the match.
Hmm.
But majority of the time you're not seeing it, only seeing it your hands and your gun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
For me, character skins in a first person shooting, it's not worth for me. Weapon
I
skin,
share
Honestly,
the same
however,
sentiments. Although
yeah.
this is not gotcha, but back then, like when we were in high school or elementary school, I would play Special Force, that
Oh my
really
god.
old
Really
first
old.
person shooter game,
oh god, that
Yeah.
old game.
Basically Counter Strike but
those
shittier.
with buying skins, it only, how do I say this? It only increases your ego,
Yeah,
Well,
which we will get into later. But
yeah.
yeah, skins just
but
boost your
that's just
ego.
cosmetics in a nutshell. It doesn't really boost
Yeah,
anything except your ego.
yeah, which is
But
weird in a
but
way.
but it
But it's like a bonus. Let's
is
just
for
put it
me
that
to
way.
this day. I'm still perplexed on how effective the monetization of cosmetic only.
Hmm.
Because I think they gain so much revenue from that. It's
You
insane,
can
and
just look at something like League of Legends, who has been
yeah,
pure monetization
it,
since the start.
it doesn't change your game, but
And I find
the
that,
visuals is a huge thing for people.
yeah,
Okay, I'm just gonna add a
it
disclaimer
actually
here.
puts targets on your back more whenever you use visual cosmetics.
No, I'm gonna put a disclaimer here because I know that this is gonna come up at some point. There are some skins, weapons, cosmetics, and skins in game that actually help with battle, such as a skin that makes you blend into a certain terrain, or
Yeah.
a skin which has a
Oh
better
yeah, yeah.
sight.
There are
It's the same with League. Some skins just have very fluid animations, which makes it easier to last hit. That's we're gonna choose to not ignore it, but put that to the side because not
We're
every skin is gonna
acknowledging
be
it,
like that.
but yeah, like you said, we're
Yeah,
acknowledging
we're
it,
just gonna
but
put a disclaimer on that before someone says, "Oh no, what
it's
about
a it's
gameplay?"
a minority thing, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
because majority of the time the really cool skins stand out, and you really don't want to stand out while fighting, unless you're a tank. But that's a thing.
So yeah,
Ah,
coming up from that, Cody, you mentioned Apex. So
yeah.
how has your experience been Apex has been?
Oh my god. Like most ranked games, I hate it, but I still play it every day
Wow, that's
because
like
it's the
League of
same.
Legends, man.
Am I the only
Oh,
one here who plays fucking first person shooters most of the time?
I do want to get into Apex, but currently my PC can't handle it. So I still have this
Okay.
potato PC back from
Uh,
2015.
Have you considered Valorant? Because it's much less uh, GPU
Uh,
intensive.
no. I, basically, I really just want to play Apex because our favorite VTubers play it.
Yeah, that's actually the
So,
reason I play that.
shallow
Matsuri
reason,
loves
but
Apex, therefore I love
it
Apex
is.
too.
Chico is right now. So yeah, Valorant. What for you, Cody? What is the difference of Apex and Valorant?
Oh
Because
my
I
god.
haven't touched
I
both.
played both and I like Apex more because I'm a fucking gorilla brain. Let me explain to you. I no
Big
disrespect to
brain.
Apex players or Valorant players, but playing Valorant in this small map when and you can die in like two shots, it's like playing chess. Like every move is careful, every position is careful. It's the same with Apex, don't get me wrong, but since the time to kill is so much more longer than in Valorant. In Valorant, you can die in literally like one shot if they're really good. In Apex,
Mm.
it'll take you like three or four, and you can still dodge and have abilities. There's still abilities in Valorant though. It's a
Does Leo
difference
play
in
Valorant?
pace. What?
Does Leo play Valorant or
Yeah,
other
he's fucking
friend
platinum in
Leonero?
Valorant. I think he
God
plays
damn.
everything at this point.
Dude's an FPS monster, honestly. Or not a
Yeah.
monster, more an addict. FPS addict. That's Leo in a nutshell.
I've
Yeah.
only started getting into FPS when once I got my new PC because my old PC can't even handle fucking Counter Strike. I don't
What?
know. It's a
Bro,
relatively new genre
that
for me.
old.
Yeah,
the,
Counter Strike was like 20 FPS. God
the
help
one
me.
holding me back on first person shooter games is that I really don't have good reflexes. I don't know about you guys, but I
Oh, I'm the
get
same.
startled every time. Like when
Yeah,
someone suddenly shoots me out of nowhere, I get startled instead of
yeah.
just fighting back and calmly going to a hiding spot or something.
No, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share you a video later when we go on break. It's
Okay.
it's interesting to say the least, but
For
that's
me,
how it
I
is
have,
with first-person shooters. What?
yeah, I have experience. I played Modern Warfare 1 way back then.
Oh yeah,
And, eh, for in my case, for I at that point, I didn't really care about my kill death ratio.
yeah.
I'm just like I was just like playing the game. Like I wasn't playing it as competitively as other people. I just
Mm,
enjoy it in the time because that's the only thing I can do. Because during that time, I have very like limited number of games I can play.
Hmm.
Usually, I have to rely on like pirating some games because I really don't have
okay,
money.
yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Remember, like, what was it? Was it like GG Client? Its name before. I used that to like play online via Modern Warfare. So I managed to like play with overseas people,
Yeah.
especially Europe and America at that time. And after that, I think I quit FPS right before high school. At that point,
Mm.
I didn't pick it up anymore after that. I
What
was
happened? Did you get turned off?
well, it's not like I turned off because I like at that point I was already transitioning to RPGs, and I
Mm.
enjoy that way more than first person.
Well,
That's
that's
why.
understandable.
But then again, if people like invite me to like a FPS game like Left 4 Dead 2 or like Double Action, I would play it because it just feels different when you're with friends.
Yeah, it's just dumb fun. It
Yes,
doesn't
it's
have to
some
be
fun.
competitive.
Yeah. Instead of if there's a what do you call this? It just feels so lonely. Playing by yourself in a
No,
FPS online.
that's just for competitive first-person
Yeah.
shooters. There are single first-person shooters which are really good, which I will suggest in a bit.
Like yeah, border. Oh yeah, wait. It's actually not. Speaking of single player first person shooting, it's not
Yeah.
actually Modern Warfare 1 that that's the last FPS game. I actually played Borderlands 2
Oh, how was it?
last year. It was very good. Uh,
Mm.
uh, just because of the wackiness of the story of Borderlands. Although I didn't get into Borderlands 3 due to let's just say I got spoiled and
Oh,
I didn't like what I saw in the story of Borderlands 3,
okay.
so I
I
didn't
haven't
continue.
played any Borderlands games, so I'm in the dark about this. And hopefully, I'll still be once I play it.
On
Have you tried
FPS,
Ah,
the Metro series?
oh, like
The Metro
Metro.
series
Wait,
is wonderful. It's not
it
really hardcore FPS, but the what how do I call it? The environments and the overall tone of the story is really good. You really feel like some survivor in Russia attacking nuclear beasts and something.
wait, is that
this
like for a post-apocalyptic setting?
Yeah, post. It's like Fallout, but
this is
you know,
story
much
based,
more
right?
happening. Yeah, story based FPS. Since JM was
Single
telling,
players.
yeah, single players. Since competitive FPSs are different,
Hmm.
and first person shooter story types are uh, how do I call this without using the cliched phrase of it hits different.
Just
They're
say it.
interesting
It
in its
hits
own way.
different.
Yeah,
It shoots different.
So yeah. Anyway, I would like to recommend you the Metro series. They're really good.
Metro.
I'll
There's
look
three
into that.
games in
I'll look
total.
into that because the only
Like you don't
FPS
have to be
games
an
aside from the
FPS aim god.
mainstream,
What?
the only FPS I've played aside from the mainstream ones, I mean, aside from the multiplayer ones, was probably Call of Duty Black Ops, I think.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I was
Black
more
Ops.
inclined to do the
Also,
story
I
rather
still
than
like the Call of
play
Duty games.
multiplayer.
Like I know they get a lot of hate for being the same thing over
Yeah,
and over, but I still enjoy them, especially the old ones.
I
yeah.
mean,
I didn't really play the multiplayer, so I don't care much for it. But
I
the
I
think
mean,
I
stories are
played.
okay.
I think I
yeah.
played
Yeah. I
three
played all the
or
old
Black
ones.
Ops.
Modern Warfare 1, 2, 3, and Black Ops 1 and 2. I played them in computer shops.
Oh yeah, the randomly installed single player games.
Yeah, I just play everything there. I finished out the story and I like the story.
Actually, me too. I like the story of Modern
For some,
Warfare.
for me, when it comes to gaming, I'm inclined to play more of single player story based games rather than multiplayer. So that maybe that's why
Yeah.
I can't get into Apex or Valorant or Overwatch.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Honestly, I only started playing a lot of multiplayer games since getting the new PC and playing with you guys. Since everyone has more capable
Mhm.
PCs now, we can just run pretty much everything
Everything.
Anything.
available on Steam, and not anything, but most of the
Most
optimal
of the
games. Yeah, because it used last time. I mean, back then we just played the really low spec stuff because we all had low spec
Yep.
PCs.
yeah.
Yeah, this entire experience has been eye opening to say the least.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
how's
I never wanna go back. Like, I already got used to the
Yeah.
high speed, high processing
Oh my god, the
yeah,
high
games.
refresh
for
rate,
sure, man.
bruh. Hell yeah.
I remember
Dude,
having my
loading.
CRT monitor and just smacking the shit out of it whenever it
Even
crashed.
like back then, my laptop takes right what 3 to 5 minutes to start up.
Oh
Here it
man.
just takes seconds
Hmm.
Yeah,
to
the
get to
first
the
time I
start
built
up.
Yeah.
this computer, I was so surprised that it suddenly booted up after just me brushing my teeth and I came back to the
Yeah.
computer chair. It's already
So used
on.
to like those 20-minute boot ups.
God.
Like I still appreciate the low end games. I
Yeah,
fucking
for
played a
Yeah,
lot
sure.
of
I
them
agree.
since my PC was crap half the time. But man, I really don't want to go back to only playing those games.
Yeah,
Speaking of low graphics games or low system requirement games, we haven't really been playing a lot of Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, it's
I
one of
would
the
like to ask you
timeless
guys on
games.
that. I
yeah.
really
Well,
want to play Left 4 Dead again, especially the one we did back
Well, no one,
then.
no one
Was
asked. Everyone just
8v8.
fucking asked, "Hey, want to play Phasmo?" And everyone just, "Yeah, cool, okay, let's play Phasmo." That's
I
another
think
horror game.
well currently in our circle, people are like into what's that like Eternal Black Survival game,
Yeah,
like
That work even.
it's a
I haven't
battle
like
tried that
royale.
game.
a top down battle
Oh, I
royale.
forgot to ask.
Is it
What's your
MOBA?
what's your
Yeah,
guys'
it's like
opinion
it's a
on battle
mobile battle
royale?
royale.
Yeah, what's your guys'
Battle
opinion on battle
Royale.
royale?
I think
I'm
it
really curious.
definitely like it's rhetorical to say, but I think you need to have the tools for battle royales. The tools to uh fucking know the game, know its in and outs, the exploits, and the ability to quickly decide on what to do.
Yeah, half of the
Eh,
time, honestly.
me
Yeah.
Mm.
personally, the reason why the main reason why I couldn't get into battle royale because there's like a dead air like of walking to the circle and then suddenly you get sniped and now you're back into the lobby. Like I don't I
Oh,
didn't like that
I have I
experience.
have good news for you. If you're interested in Apex,
Oh my god.
Apex shakes. I won't be an advertised boy for Apex, but I like Apex in that it's a movement shooter. You can see that in the trailers, the games. You slide. There are cars. There's zip lines. There's more movement than the usual.
I
Let's
remember
walk towards the
watching
thing.
you guys stream, you, Leo, and Paolo, basically
Yeah,
getting to third place by just running around the map. That
yeah,
was
but
so
there's a
funny.
lot to prove it. Here's another thing. There's a respawn. Unlike PUBG, where
Mhm.
if one of your teammates die, everyone just fucking, oh no, we're missing one guy, we're fucked. There are respawns. Of course, there are other games with respawns, but having respawns in a battle royale feels so much better. Because if you're
And
missing
then
one guy at the end, you're at a disadvantage. But if you somehow revive that guy, hey, we still have a chance. We can still get in there. I have clutched
Yeah,
so
that's
many games
true.
where everyone died except for me, but I just revived them and we're like back on top.
this makes me remember the time when Aram on LoL was new. Was probably what 2013 or something,
Yeah,
and that was
Yeah,
chaotic as fuck.
yeah.
yeah.
So that's my overall opinions on battle royales. I'm pretty new to the genre, but I like what I am seeing, especially on Apex. I don't really get why people hate it so much. It's overused. But the MOBA genre is the same, and it's literally been
Oh,
the
for
same for what
sure,
20 years, and no one's
Yeah.
for sure.
complaining.
MOBA has not changed ever.
Yeah,
I think the root cause of the hatred on this battle royale genre, I think it feels like it's connected to Fortnite because people
oh
are
god.
tired of Fortnite.
Hmm.
Fortnite
So any
is like the sow of video games.
yeah
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
how
okay
yeah
as a
hated.
yeah
game,
yeah
sure.
it is the
But
sound.
because of the fan base overall and the kids and everything, it
Yeah,
just turned to
man.
shit. I'd like to
The,
compare it like that.
for me, getting into games, like one of the factors that makes me go nuts is the player fan base. If like if this community is very toxic, then I probably would not get into it. I would not touch
Yeah, the
anything at
fan
all.
base and the people playing it really are a big boost to the game. Like, look at me. I'm
Yeah.
playing fucking Apex because of VTubers. And that speaks a lot for how influential the streamers are.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, really, you don't really need a big reason to play a certain game, right?
Yeah, and some people play it because they want it. Some people play it just to have a chance to
Because
play
like
with their virtual
yeah
waifus. Why not?
yeah. By the way, have you ever tried to stream snipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're asking the VTuber god
Hey,
here.
hey, I played. Actually, I didn't. It wasn't intentional, but I queued up with a VTuber one time. It was
Who
a
who?
streamer from
Who
China.
was
What?
Actually,
it?
saw my name in the streams. Like, bruh. I
Wait,
Are
didn't
you
who
do
gonna
it
was
on
it?
name drop?
purpose.
Are you gonna
What?
name drop on who it is?
No, but I'll show you later. I did
Okay,
appear on
Okay.
okay.
the stream, which was interesting.
It
So
seems that
yeah,
JM forgot that he was talking with the Gachikoi.
Gachikoi. What first person shooters and
JM
gacha
said
games?
earlier,
Well,
like
what?
our circle has been playing a lot of Phasmophobia. I don't remember if JM said it or Cody, but yeah, our circle has been playing a lot of Phasmophobia. But quite frankly, I don't get the appeal of it yet because
Honestly, as
I don't
someone
know if it's
who
because
keeps
like
playing,
I don't know if it's like because I'm not sharp, I'm not intelligent. Is maybe that's it's maybe like why I don't want to play the game. But yeah, there's nothing that stand out to me.
it's not about the game actually. Half the
It's
time we're just fucking around.
most of the fun is for me.
Yeah,
From
with
what I
friends.
observed, it's more of you and your friends just fucking around
Yeah,
and
Oh
getting
yeah,
that's
most
thrown
true.
all
definitely,
over the book.
most
We're fucking
definitely.
around half the time.
The entertainment part is where everything falls apart when one of you dies.
Yeah, that's true.
People
That's true.
start
As someone who
screaming,
plays it,
"Oh shit!"
like no one. If you really wanted to play Phasmo, it would have been playing it like two players only. But no, we always want to play as a group because
Yeah, right.
Phasmo in itself, it's
It's so
fun
fun.
for the first few missions. Then it gets really boring once you know the patterns. But once you have
Yeah.
like friends over, you just fuck everything up. Like look at me, I die half the time. I'm the lowest level because I keep dying because I piss off the ghosts on purpose for fun.
Remember
Uh,
Ali going up to the ghost on when they were playing Phasmophobia.
Dude,
Oh,
I
what's
literally
up?
chase ghosts. Like last
Oh my
night we
God.
played, a ghost was chasing Diane, and I was like, I will fucking chase this ghost and see what happens. Guess what happened?
You
I
died.
fucking died. And Pat was laughing her ass off. That's the best part of
Ghost Chan
Phasmo.
was like, Ghost Chan was saying to Cody, "Oh, you're approaching me?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh my
You
god.
know you without getting closer."
Oh, speaking of popular streamer games, I know we played a bit. What do you think about Among Us?
Um,
Yeah, Among
for
Us
me,
really
for
got
me,
stale.
it died for me.
Uh, honestly, after the first three games, I lost interest.
Yeah.
I find the
One thing
idea
I
of
hated
tricking
about
people.
one thing I hated about Among Us when we started playing, you guys kept fucking killing me every time you got the chance.
Well,
Game,
No,
God,
my problem with Among Us is it's too technical. I'm gonna sound like a gorilla brain, but it's too technical. I
monkey
mean,
brain.
it's not. I got first interested when I knew I can lie myself out of shit, but nah, that doesn't fly because people are checking logs, people are checking rooms, they have fucking strategies. You
yeah,
know, it turned
It's a
into a
pretty
game of
fun.
numbers.
I think it's a pretty fun party game in a sense. It's like Catch the
Yeah.
Thief or something. But as a game that I would play regularly, nah,
Yeah.
that's
no,
a pass
no,
for me.
Once people get good at it, they recognize the patterns and
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
and
optimal. It just
the
takes
blind
out the fun
spots.
for me. Yeah.
yeah.
It
Like
really
It's not
if
became
I
fun.
want
predictable.
to play a game like that where I can just lie and bullshit, I'd rather play card games. It's much more
Yeah,
straightforward.
I'd rather
Uno.
play Uno.
Yeah. Because the appeal
And
for me for that game was getting to lie to people and trick them. But
what was
Yeah,
that game we
once
played when we had Christmas party? Like the Wolf game.
yeah,
That
that
was
game was
basically
fun.
Among Us in a board
It
game form.
was. Among Us formula isn't new. It just got popular.
Or Town of Salem, right?
There's this other game which is like Among Us, but it has shooting. The one that VTuber plays. It's
I haven't checked.
Winter or something. I forgot. But it's
oh
basically
yeah,
yeah. That was a great. I actually want to play that with you guys because it
Link it to
feels more
me.
fun than Among Us.
Link it to me.
oh is that
And
is
let's
that that
set up.
game where
Yeah, where Susie killed everyone.
yeah, where she killed everyone,
Wait,
Yeah,
what
it was
was
a
that
fun
released?
game.
I
like the
haven't been
cyber
watching a lot of Suisei videos recently.
Uh, I'm not sure if it's up because a lot of the videos are still private.
Oh yeah, right. She had
Yeah,
her videos
that's sad.
privated.
Everyone
Well,
did.
yeah. Among Us. It was good
Uh,
for its time, but it
it
quickly
was
got stale.
it was certainly a trend, but for me it was
yeah, like
stale.
Yeah.
most of the games you talked about were trends, or still are trends actually.
Among Us is basically uh this our the modern version of Flappy Bird.
Why fucking Flappy Bird?
What?
Why?
What comparison is that?
What comparison is
No,
that?
because when we were studying, when we were in college, Flappy Bird was like the just biggest thing. Like everybody wanted a piece of. Why didn't I get to think of that concept? I want to build something like this. And right
Hmm.
now, everybody is still like that towards Among Us. Like, oh, I want to do this style of game. And what one thing they don't realize is that most of
I'm
these
not
games
sure on
are
that
just come
because
and going.
Among Us was kind of that because there were games like Among Us that came before, but
Hmm.
Among Us only got picked up because of streamers. Like the
Yeah,
Winter thing. Winter thing came before that. And a lot of other games like
yeah.
Werewolf
Basically, it got carried by
by the
streamers.
streamers.
Kasi Among Us existed way before.
Yeah,
Did it? Like, I didn't look much
it did.
into the
It only got
history of
popular
Among Us.
recently. It was already
Yeah,
there.
When did it start getting popular? And
Oh, I
at
can
what
check
platform?
now.
Twitch? Was that Twitch?
I think it was mostly on Twitch.
Among Us was already here since 2018 and only got noticed like
Yeah,
late 2020.
yeah.
Damn.
That's how it is. And speaking of trends, not really trends, more like old games that we used to play.
That
Remember
was
League?
trendy. Oh
Oh yeah,
god.
Remember
well,
League?
It
remember
was
like
good for its
I
time.
think in our first year of college,
Hell,
like
some of us still play it though, like
I
me
mean,
Oh,
sometimes.
fired? Shots
Yeah,
fired.
Andre still plays it because he's a
you only play it
madman.
when you're invited, but you don't play it proactive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I find League more tolerable when we guys play together, especially back in college.
that's just
Yeah,
most multiplayer games in general.
I didn't
Unle-
for my entire career in League, I haven't even tried solo queuing for ranked games because that's just how much I play. I hate playing
yeah.
against and with other people,
Oh,
with
don't remind me.
strangers.
Fucking the rank was paid.
but
I'm not
dude,
gonna lie.
Hey,
I tried
Pico.
solo queue. I mean, just from the champ select, it's already filled with
Yeah,
toxicity.
Yeah, but I did experience playing ranked games with Marvel Super War, the MOBA ML lookalike game of Marvel
yeah.
on MOBA, and goddamn, the people there are
So nice and pleasant.
so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I think this is like an
Describe
inherent.
it.
I mean,
That's
this is like
MOBA
a
in a nutshell.
natural occurrence when it comes to PvP games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I got into Monster Hunter World. Like, I was so surprised on how cooperative the community was.
Oh yeah, that's
Bro,
true. I played Monster
I
Hunter
mean,
a lot
because
too.
like people, like here's the thing, people are so encouraged to co-op or like join SOS players. At first, I didn't get it, but I became one of those people where
No,
I
no.
would just
I'm
join,
gonna try to
join, like,
explain why that
yeah,
is. Okay. You see, in
sure,
Monster
sure,
Hunter, what's the main enemy?
the monster.
Okay.
Environment.
Yep. And in League of Legends and every other multiplayer games that we mentioned, what's the enemy?
Oh, everyone else.
Everyone else, even your
Your
own
team.
teammates.
The only friend you have in mobile games
You see,
is your
when people are
keyboard and your
mad,
mouse.
yeah. Like when people are mad, oh, I'm mad at this monster, I'm gonna kill him. But when multiplayer games, someone's better, someone's fucking up.
Like,
You see what happens.
like
Humans hate other humans.
one time when I was still in the low ranks of MH, so I was browsing through Reddit, and there was like a meme where overseas dude firing an SOS flare and like three Japanese hunters just joined in this massacre a monster. No, that literally happened to me. I was like low rank, and then like uh, a high rank hunter, like 300 HR, just joined
Yeah.
in, like three of them, and they're Japanese.
Oh my god, you just reminded me of something. I was one of those guys in DS, in the DS Monster Hunter. I was like ranked 700. I was just helping every random person I can find,
Yeah,
just because.
that became me after a point where when I
Yeah.
was geared up, I would help like the very low rankers
Yeah,
just
and
to
people
like,
would
Even
be nice and
even on
grateful.
Genshin right now, like that's what we do right now on Genshin, right, JM? We
yeah,
Yeah,
basically help the newer players right now because
yeah.
we're on the end game
because you
content.
ran out of shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I enjoyed like MH so much because like that on how people are so cooperative in that game.
Because like I find that it depends on the community on how people also view the game itself. Like
That's
Yeah,
whenever
true.
there's a lot of toxic people around, then you're not exactly adapting into it, but you're slowly becoming one of them in a way.
yeah.
Yeah, the
It's
environment influences the player.
made
The
the
player
Marvel
influences the
Super War
environment. Isn't fun?
when I was reaching like the higher tier ranks, even though I didn't classify myself as a toxic player, but whenever people are starting to fuck up, I get stressed a lot, and that wasn't really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is I was like, man, I am becoming the very thing I swore to destroy.
God, we're not so different, you and I. I love that line. Oh, speaking of player bases, that's actually one of the reasons I'm still in the FGO because the game might
Mm,
be, questionable at some points, and the pity system isn't there. But by damn, the FGO community is one of the best fucking communities to be in. The fan art,
Hmm.
the memes, just the sheer fucking hilarity of the things that come out from that community just makes me want to stay.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about MH as a community. For me, that was like an eye opening experience on how such a
Yeah.
good community that is.
Yeah, for
That's
me
why
as
I was
well.
happy. I was happy when MH Rise was announced for PC. I'm
Mm.
definitely playing that game when it
Yeah,
Because
there's a
for
comes
lot
out.
of
me, the
complaints on that though.
community makes the game for me. It's what
What?
maybe that's why I play a lot of single player games because most of the games that I've tried, I didn't like the community, so I just reverted back to the single player.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a quote on that. I actually agree, but not completely. Like you get into the game for the game, but you stay for
yeah,
the game because of the
Because of the
community
community.
and
Yeah,
whoever else is playing with you. Okay, it might be the best game in the world, but if everyone else is shit, why even stay?
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you basically describe League in a nutshell for some people.
God, dude, I'll be honest. If you guys didn't play with me on League, I would have quit years
Yeah, for
earlier.
Yeah,
sure, for
yeah,
sure.
no, yeah.
You
If
guys
you
Same,
guys
added
same,
like 4 more
same.
years into that game. God
Yeah,
help me. I hate that
didn't
game so much.
ask me out to play on the computer shop when we were in college, I would have never touched a MOBA game ever again.
Yeah, and we've made a lot of friends there. Look at a
Yeah,
quarter of the people on our server we met through League,
yeah.
like Diane and
I mean,
Gwen
that's
and
the
all that
benefit.
people.
Like we've met some people, and we're still
Yeah,
friends with them.
I mean that's one of the best things about the gaming community is that you make a lot of friends even though you don't have much in common at first.
yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of bond there. That's the best part.
It's not about the destination, guys. It's about the
That's
journey
your
and the
Oh my
friends we
god.
make along the way.
okay.
Maybe the real games were the friends we made along the way. And with that positive ending message, we're gonna take a break. Welcome back, gamers.
Oh
Oh my god.
man.
I hate that intro. So, we're back again. Me, Cody, and the boys.
And you
Back
sound
from the
like a
short break.
lot more tired
I
before we took a
am.
break.
Yep. I played the ranked game, and I hate myself. Speaking of which, let's talk about toxicity in video games. Related topic.
I have a lot of stories on that one. But yeah, who's starting?
I do wanna point out, like,
Ladies
Okay.
first.
oh damn you, fuck you, dude.
Yes.
Uh, for me, toxicity or like trash talking specifically,
Hmm.
for me, there's an entertainment value in it. Like especially in the FGC, the fighting game community. Like
Hmm.
when like, the common like there's always the established villain in the FGC.
Hmm.
Usually
Yeah.
that person will like the over ego of that person,
Hmm.
and then people are gonna pissed off, and then someone will challenge them. Like the trash talking is entertainment from the audience.
From a
Because
third
like
person
I can
perspective.
see that.
yeah, because like it's like seeing a story unfolding,
Hmm.
But for sometimes when it involves people outside of that circle, that becomes a problem. Like like death threats on family members or something. That
Oh
can
yeah.
happen.
That's
That
scummy for sure.
that's too
Yeah.
far. I'm gonna
For me it's still healthy when it's between just those two people
Hmm.
or the people involved. But when people outside of it gets involved in that,
it's usually how it goes.
That's
I'm gonna
really sad to think
try to
that way.
explain why that works in that sense, but it doesn't work in solo queue.
Hmm.
Because from how you described it, it feels like a narrative. Like big bad toxic guy fights this noble dude. You have someone to root for and someone to hate.
Mm-hmm.
So when he does something like, say, I don't know, spam a certain move to annoy people, it's kind of part of his character to do so. You're like, oh, I expected this because this is how it goes. This is how the story goes. But when you're in solo
Yeah,
queue, you queue up, you just meet this random guy that starts spewing bullshit towards your face for no apparent reason. That's not a story. That's just someone spewing bullshit towards your face. That's why it's not pleasant for you.
exactly, exactly.
Because you're not living in a story. You're just trying to get through fucking gold, and this guy keeps spamming at you. It's like, God.
Cody's taking this from experience.
Because
Cody is speaking from
I
experience,
climbed
bro.
all the way to platinum in like a week ago, and boy, it was not fun. Oh man.
But yeah, for me, trash talking, there's definitely a line that whenever you cross that line, that's basically a big a big no-no in a sense
Yeah.
when it gets personal.
Yes.
Because I find that on most games, a lot of people undermine the power of. Oh God, I'm gonna sound like a therapist right here. But yeah, I think a lot of people undermine the power of positive reinforcement, and
Okay.
that most people would just rather talk shit to you than help you improve your skills
Yeah.
in a way. Because
Yeah, that's
back then,
actually true.
when I was in high school, me and my mates would often go to computer shops and play Dota. The old Dota, not the Dota 2, like the really old World
The
of
OG.
Warcraft 3 graphics one. And whenever we would play, like I wasn't that much into mobile games or even MOBA games, I mean, or even Dota back then. And they would continuously include me in games, but whenever that whenever I do something that they don't like or I haven't gone through the exact combo they were telling me, they would mostly curse at me and in a way that kind of decreases your motivation to play the game even more.
Yeah.
Kasi for
Especially,
me, I feel like it's
mhm,
because it's easier to vent than
of course,
teach.
yes, it's easier to rage at somebody than to teach because
Yeah. But
when you're
mm,
raging, you're not factoring in the what other people feel. You're just spouting everything you think of on the top of your head.
mm, I don't know. It's kind of odd. It's an odd perspective for me. It's just generally like our friend group and everyone we play about.
Hmm.
We're not really one of those spew toxic
Yes,
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
sure,
that
we
that's
get
what I
toxic
found
when we're
more.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I found attractive about our friendship group. Because back then when we played LOL, it was so different from what I experienced back in high
Yeah.
school compared to you guys. Where whenever I didn't know this character, you guys would teach me how to play this character. Whereas back
Yeah. What
then,
to
if I
do
didn't know
next?
how to play this character, they would just tell me to fuck off or don't play with us again. You're trash.
And especially if you're really good with the character, then we start trash talking you.
Yeah,
Like,
Austin,
oh, you're so
Austin,
great. Go fuck yourself.
Austin,
Yeah.
Austin, come and join us, man.
Yeah. So that's why it's a hard perspective to be in. I don't
Mhm.
trash talk when I'm mad. I just stay quiet. But I
Yes,
can see why people would do that when something bad happens. To just go, "Oh fuck, this is your fault." Blah blah blah. I tend to
because
blame
I
myself
find
more
that
than others.
yes, exactly, exactly. Like if only I could have done this better, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah,
But people don't often think that way. They would rather shift the blame to somebody else than take their own fault for not for let's say in
oh,
my situation, you guys invited me to a game that I don't know, to a character I don't know how to use. Then whenever I do something stupid with this character, then you guys blame me for not apparently researching enough or using it enough.
won't do that though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
back then I didn't play much MOBA games, so I didn't understand like, for example, Razor. I didn't know how to use it, Razor exactly in Dota 1, and people would and my friends would go and tell me, "Oh, use this character, then do this, build that."
Yeah.
And a part of me like realized that, so what am I exactly supposed to do with this character when I've built him? Like, what does this item do to this character? That wasn't really explained to me, but rather they would tell me to just Google it.
Just Google it.
Well,
It's like our
that's
professor
very helpful.
in college. Just Google it.
Just Google the answers or the questions.
Which is kind of odd
Really
because
helpful
you
teaching style.
you definitely can do that. Like you can Google stuff, but with their attitude towards me, I found that more. How do you say that? I found that I found it more turn off to have them talk trash to me for not learning this character enough.
I mean, there are friends that they're okay outside of a game, but when they're
Yeah,
in a game, you don't want to be there.
yeah,
That's that's the same for most friends. They're in certain aspects they're great, but in like
yep.
professional aspects or in some other games, they're like, please don't talk to me.
And like you just have to accept that on this certain thing, you guys won't work together.
Yeah,
But
there are
you
a
can
lot of
still be great friends outside of it. It's just that
Yeah,
within that thing,
it,
there's
it, there-
no compatibility in a way.
there's no
yeah.
house blend. Yeah,
But that
Yeah.
doesn't apply to strangers when you're in solo queue.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely, man.
Rules like that
definitely.
don't. Once you fucking say shit to me, I immediately think that you're rude, no matter how much you try to make it up to me. Once
This
you
is why
open
I
up with trash
never
talk,
answered back whenever I was in solo queue and somebody was trash talking me because I
yeah.
didn't want to put stress on myself to because basically that's the point of trash talking to get in
I
somebody's
just
head
reply
to
with
throw them off
sarcastic
their game.
answers that don't go anywhere. It just pisses them off more.
Yeah.
It's like the best answer
It's
for
reverse
that.
psychology in a way. Because that's
Yeah,
the point of trash talking, right? You want to get inside your opponent's head to throw them off their rhythm. But
yeah.
sometimes people just take it too far.
But
And like whenever even within allies, like we can be teammates and you would still trash talk me. And I find that very counterintuitive to what you're trying to go
but
for, which is
the,
basically
the
the
the weird
win.
thing is with trash talk like that. I
Mm,
over time because I play a lot of solo queue both in Apex League.
man, you
I have
torture
this
yourself too
filter
much.
now. I know. You have to do what you have to do. You grow this filter because I know trash talk is shit, but you really don't want to filter out everything because some
Yeah.
people are just really rough on how they say things and it could
Hmm.
actually help you in your games. Like there was this one guy I played with in the league who kept telling me I was a terrible junker and I asked why and he genuinely gave me good advice. He gave me the times and where to go next
Hmm.
and what happened. Like, hey, he was talking to me like an asshole, but there's some information here. I can use this.
Yeah.
So there's this
Which is
filter.
which is why I said that positive reinforcement is undermined in team games
Yeah,
because they can be rude. They can go rude towards you, but they should go rude with the intention of helping that person understand why
right.
they're
Yeah,
being rude in a way.
Yeah, that's where the filter comes in.
Yeah. And it's not just about like, oh, it's how you take it in, that's how it matters. No, because
no,
some people
not
would
everyone
really
can.
spout shit at you even though
Yeah,
you're teammates or something.
It's not easy to ignore. It's
Yep.
not that simple.
yeah. It
Especially,
is. It's a competitive game. It comes with that.
yeah.
It's about being
And
competitive, and stuff like that generally happens.
it's, I guess it's the competitive human nature in a way. Because, like, why do it's this kind of thinking. Why do I have to care about this person when I don't know him? When I
Yeah,
could just basically
that's what
do it
happens in
myself.
solo queue. That's why even if you play with an asshole, but you know that asshole, you kind of ease
Yeah.
up a bit, especially in
Like you
multiplayer.
guys.
Yeah, like you know after this game, you're still gonna know each other. You're still gonna be talking.
Yeah,
There's a difference between that and a random stranger, which you will probably never see the next time you queue up.
I remember the time when we were playing LOL, and we were just basically throwing the game. That was, I think we were five exactly, and
Yeah,
we
we're just
were
fucking around.
warding the whole mid lane with
Yeah,
the wards sticking next to each other. Then when
our
the
Yeah.
enemy
opponents were
asked,
like, our opponents were calling us a bunch of idiots. We were like, I don't care. We're just fucking
"This
around.
is the
Doesn't
Mexico
matter.
post, bitches. you're
Yeah,
you're not esports." I remember Austin saying that. You're not
Yeah.
esports enough to get what we're doing.
fucking, they hated us so much because we were having fun.
Dudes were so irritated that that's because
Uh,
Austin started that esports thingy when
yeah, we were
trash
typing
talk
in all chat, esports, esports.
Esport.
and just even more. So even though we lost that game, I really felt good about that.
Yeah, we had fun. At the end of the day, I guess that's what matters.
Yep.
Fun experience
Appreciate it.
along the way.
Yeah. Oh
But
my
yeah,
god.
you Cody. When do you draw the line? Aside from being personal, when do you draw the line in terms of trash talking?
I don't trash talk. That's the thing. I only trash talk when with close friends and they know I'm kidding. But I never seriously trash talk anyone. And if I do,
For
May
sure,
I
for
like
sure.
say
may
I
I
play with
sincerely
someone
just
who's not
mute
good. What?
I sincerely just mute the well, like toxic teammates, I just mute them. Honestly, my
Yeah.
gameplay becomes way better when it's silent.
Yeah. Okay, there's a again with the filter. Because I was climbing and I hear a lot of this. Because there's a difference between a guy saying, "Hey asshole, there's someone behind you," and someone just says, "Hey asshole, hey asshole, hey asshole, hey asshole," over and over
Yeah,
again.
for sure, for sure.
I would mute the guy who just keeps repeating nonsense. But if the guy is rude, but he's giving me information, then sure, why not?
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
still
I
use
mean
this.
that's I can still use that because like they're still trying to
Yeah.
make an effort
Yeah.
to
To
support you
help
in a
you
way.
Like
become
if
But
I
better.
had to
like,
play with a
at
toxic
worst they're
guy,
like they're irritated. That's the thing. They're just
Yep.
irritated.
yeah,
They're not toxic yet for me.
because yeah, there are different kinds of toxic people. Because if you had me choose, I had to play with a toxic guy. I'd choose the guy that wants to win instead of
Hmm.
the guy that just wants to fuck us over. Because there are people who are get pissy about it, and
Yeah,
but they
And
still
I
give
there
mean
out
are
I
calls.
do
people
not
who are
like
just
Like
chaotic outright.
like
yeah,
the people throwing the game. That's that for me.
That's the
yeah,
ultimate toxicness. Just
Yeah.
because they didn't get the kill or something, they
I
would rather
prefer
throw the game away.
I prefer
Those
a
yeah,
teammate who just leave like who just goes ahead like
yep.
and just ignores me. I prefer that instead of them just throwing the game
yeah.
by just killing or
It's like
something.
it's like a child throwing a
Yeah,
tantrum.
yeah.
Especially those that
Like,
spam pings. Jesus, I hate those people.
and
That
especially those
the
people
question
who
mark
keep
things.
spouting like, "Oh, you stole my kill. That was mine."
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, we're trying to win the game here. It's not about the stats, bro. I find those people really irritating and not toxic, but more
I'm on the fence on that
people who
because
will no.
in
But
some games,
that's a different that's a different
yeah.
topic on FPS. But on MOBA games, man, those
No.
people.
I'm trying to justify this because I've reached a point where I kind of understand where some of them are going. Because in
Hmm.
Apex, there's when you climb rank, you get 5 kill points and half when
Mm,
you assist. And sometimes, if let's see, you have 6 kills, any other kill after that is fucking useless on you. Might as well be bonus bragging points. So if you just randomly take this guy's kill, even though it's his, you see, there's a what do I call this?
hmm.
An etiquette to it. Like if you have six
Yeah.
more kills, just give it to your teammate. You don't need it. Like if possible. And of course, that's ignoring the situation. But you might have to kill him just because he's a threat. You
Yep.
know, there are situations where it's justifiable to be
Yeah,
salty about
well,
not
Give
getting
it
a kill.
away.
like
Yeah,
when you know it the like the opponent will gonna get like revived. if they're
Yeah,
like down.
do it for yourself.
Sometimes you just can't help it but kill it,
Hmm.
instead
Yeah,
of give it. But if
there's
it's free, I'll
situations
give
where.
it. I'll
But
happily
if you're
give it
just being
away.
salty because you want to kill for no other reason, but I want
That's
the
another
fucking
story.
bragging points, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't. I hate that.
because when I said that, like, I was mostly targeting the lol guys, especially back then when we played what season 4, season 5. There were a
Mm.
lot of people like spouting on the chat whenever we were incomplete. Like, hey, that was my kill. Why would you kill it, bro? The dude was escaping. I was just trying to secure the kill.
Again, back with the. I'm mostly talking about high level plays where it's easier to
Hmm.
do things like this. Some kills have to go to carries. That's understandable.
Yes, of
Yeah.
Yeah,
course.
but if you're still an ASO, despite there's really no situation other than you killing it, yeah, I'm still gonna be annoyed.
Because whenever
Uh,
back then, like, there were bounties, and like, if you're fairly on the upper echelon of the game, you would know that maybe, oh, maybe this person needs the kill to get more gold to build more items or something like that.
yeah,
But back then, people would just, oh, I want the kill to boost my stat, to boost my final standing. And I find that really stupid. It's
Yep.
like, what was even the point of the match? I thought we were trying to win, but you guys are out here chasing stats. That doesn't even matter. On LOL, me basically on LOL.
yeah. I guess it's a type of victory that people chase. Some people just
Hmm.
want that win. Some people want to win and look good.
Yep.
You
Eh,
want to look
it's
good.
it's arguable. Me,
It's
I
basically
personally
being
don't
an
care.
MVP on a losing team. You get all the kills, but you take the L.
for me,
Yeah,
there's no point. No matter how
Yeah,
good your kill ratio is, if you lose, you still lose.
yeah. A lose is still a
You,
lose. An L is still an L. So
it,
I don't get why people are chasing stats over that.
most of the time when outcomes are predetermined, like I'm gonna lose no matter what. I'm
Mm,
gonna try my best, of course, but I'm not gonna be an ass about it.
yeah.
You see, at the end of the day, I guess it's how you deal with the situation, how you deal with the
Hmm.
game. Like you can. There is such a thing as losing gracefully.
Yep.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, and most
To
people
be
don't know
able to
that.
say, "Hey, man, GG, good game. You,
Yeah, and not be
we fought
salty. I
well, but
only
you
won
guys were
because
more
something,
skilled."
something, something, something.
Yeah, I find that
That's the
making
thing.
excuses more pathetic than just actually accepting. Oh, I lost. Because when you're making excuses, it's like you're showing that you blame others for your own shortcomings, and like
Uh,
you're basically like trying to wash yourself away, even though
it's a way to cope,
you
really.
took. Yeah,
It's a way to cope. Most of the really good players and all the experts always blame themselves that they could have done better.
of
Uh,
course,
it's a mindset thing.
which honestly a lot of people don't have. Because
Competitive players.
when you're a veteran, you can easily accept a defeat. Like,
Yeah, you care
okay,
less
next
actually.
game. But whenever there's new people, like, oh god damn, it's because of these guys, because it's because of these guys. It's why I didn't get the win. God damn it.
I still there are still the hyper competitive people who are veterans. Those people
Hmm.
exist. But generally, when I become a veteran or become really used to the game, I just care less and less about losing because I still learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, finishing that topic off, and it's time for almost the last segment of this podcast. So, what are your video game recommendations, guys?
Me, first to those people out there who loves long hour RPGs,
Oh my
I
god.
recommend Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh
It
yeah, I
has
play
like
that game.
like D&D mechanics in it, but not fully.
Yep.
and it's like a tactical turn-based open world RPG.
Mm.
But
What
yeah,
I like about this game is that they promote the creativity of the build. Like there's classes and systems, but it's more on how you distribute your stats is what makes your character.
and there's obvious consequences on your action.
Yeah.
So if you like kill a certain person, the outcome is
hmm
very different.
It's like it's
Is there
like
a
an
moral alignment in
RPG
the game?
visual novel. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
there's like
it depends on your actions on how
yeah,
people would react to you.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
some of your actions can actually affect your companion. Like
Yes.
suddenly they will just leave you
Yep.
permanently. Like if you fuck up.
Oh,
And
I'm
what
sorry
I
to hear
like
that.
about this game is that you can change classes anytime. It's not a definite
Yeah,
lock.
yep. You can even redistribute
It,
your
it,
stats.
it reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics, but more open, honestly.
Yeah, and
Mm.
the voice acting is so
Oh,
good.
yeah, man.
Yes, the voice acting.
So, who do
Mm.
you mainly use in Divinity?
I use Spain. I like
Mm.
Pain. I like playing as Undead.
Wait, what was his name? Pain?
Pain, as in
T-Pain. No,
Dude,
I'm just
Pain.
did
kidding.
you hear yourself? You just said, I like pain.
I like Pain.
I like pain, bruh. Oh
Change
boy.
your name now to M. Sid.
I can't really say I want to play a game like that now. Like back then when I was a niche, sure, I had infinite amounts of time. Now that I'm
hmm
actually working and I have stuff like this to do, long
hmm
RPGs just it doesn't feel the way it used to feel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
and
Like back then, I just played anything I can get my hands on, Elona, visual novels, anything,
well,
literally anything.
it
But now
depends
I
because
actually have to consider what to play because I have very limited time.
yeah,
yeah. Me
that's where it
personally,
factors in.
the way I handle long RPGs right now, even though I have a job, because I like whenever I get home, I always dedicate like 3 hours gaming time
To
on
game.
RPG.
Mm,
And I usually
true.
get most of it on the weekends, on my off days.
I understand that because I kind of do the same with Apex. I
Yeah,
play
like,
consistently to improve.
here's the thing: as long as you have interest in it, you're gonna make time in it. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah, that's true.
because if you're not interested, it's hard to like invest
Yes,
time.
Yeah.
because for
And
me,
if
and
you really like the game, after a year or so later, you're just gonna think that time wasn't wasted. I had fun. I
yes,
enjoyed myself.
Yeah, yep, that.
because I remember since I've also played Divinity, you guys weren't expecting me to at touch this game at all. But I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
Logi telling me like, "Wait, you play Divinity?"
yeah,
But for me, like Divinity is a game that you can't rush. You're not supposed to speed run the game.
yeah.
That's how I play the game. It's more on exploring the world and seeing what's out there for you
Mm,
rather than just plowing through the story mode and finishing the game. Makes it more enjoyable.
Me, I finished it around like 55 hours.
Even now, I still haven't finished it. I currently uninstalled the game because I don't have much hard drive space, but maybe one of these days I'll download it again.
mm. Is
Another
that the
thing
only
I
game
would
you're recommending?
no, although this is much for more niche people, but
Because I have.
definitely do check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. It's like the newest Yu-Gi-Oh! Game right now, and you can plug your Discord account into it to play online, and it's
Oh,
a really nice looking game.
Is that the one on Steam?
No, no, no. This is a fan made one,
A fan made.
which is really cool because there's a lot of mechanics right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! And for a fan made one to replicate
wait.
the
I'm. This
pro
is fan
developed
made.
ones,
What's
yeah,
the copyright on that? Because you just
that I
can't.
do not know.
That's a complicated matter.
Yeah.
If it's a fan game, it's gonna get shut down once it gets big enough because that's how most companies operate.
Yeah, but for some reason, the Konami doesn't really mind that much when it comes to games because they still do release their own games. But as for
Yeah.
the
But
virtual
it,
side,
it,
You can't
they don't really pay
really.
much attention to it.
Mm,
I think mostly it's more on Nintendo who's being aggressive in terms
Yes.
of
yeah,
that.
I really don't trust companies at all because at any point in any moment, once your game it gets bigger or something happens, some
For sure.
controversy, they're just gonna pull the plug, and I don't like that
Yeah,
insecurity.
Oh,
yep.
for sure. But like what I found on Konami's side is that they'd rather focus on the actual game itself. That's why like they're still hosting regional tournaments, world championships, is because they know that people would, despite the online game, people would still go to their actual tournaments and play. Maybe that's the
Mm,
reason why they don't shut down fan made games much.
yeah, I can understand that. Oh, anything more that you'd like to recommend?
How about
What
you?
what about you, Potato? What game would you recommend?
I'm gonna be talking in two voices because I've been through a lot of phases in my life, and this affects how I recommend games. First is I'm gonna
Hmm.
be talking as a neat because I have been a neat for a fucking long time, and I
Who
played a lot
doesn't?
of
I'm just
fucking
kidding.
games.
I'm kidding. I'm
So
kidding.
when you're a neat, or I'm gonna make it sound better, when you're a student with a lot of time, or rather, when you're young, when you have a lot of time,
Yeah,
the really intricate RPG, long RPGs that they were describing, those are some good shit. Those are one of the best time six that you can ever play. I played RimWorld for god amount of hours, more
Oh,
than one
really?
should. RimWorld is amazing. It's customizable. There's tons of mods. There's tons of things to do. But it's a really really steep learning curve, and it's one of those managed types of games. But I recommend it fully. I
what
even
would you
played the
say
pirated
is
version.
the closest comparison to RimWorld?
Oh man, it's if I can't really describe anything popular that comes close to it.
That's
Dwarf
okay. That's
Fortress, which
okay.
is also unpopular. I don't know Warcraft, but it's it's much more personal than Warcraft
Hmm.
because you can really customize everything from what they wear, from the guns that they use, from the bullets that they use in some mods, the buildings you can construct, the exact material of the buildings. It's really, really, really detailed.
Wait, since
So
when did you start playing this?
as soon as it released, I I got the legal version of the internet. I
You
started
have
Legal.
playing.
time.
Oh yeah, booty, dude.
I was a neat. What did you want? What did you expect? So, anyways, one of that, and hmm, play a visual novel. I recommend it. It's
But
simple. It
the
won't
A-
be from
R18
every
one
Actually,
or
version.
the non R18 one?
actually, in terms
Any.
of visual novel, the one I have right now on my backlog, the one I download is like two visual novels. One is Magicoy.
Oh,
The
I know
other
that.
is the other is Kyonyu Fantasy.
Oh my
If
god, I know that too.
yeah, like I'm near the end. I'm near. Actually, I'm already at the
You know
epilogue.
that
The
literally
first game
translates to
of
big
Kyonyu.
breast fantasy.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, on that game, like I'm already at the epilogue right now. Like, it's on hold for me
Nice,
right now.
nice, nice.
But I'm
Speaking
planning
of
on
visual
getting
novels, though, I don't know if this
Yeah,
is counted as a visual novel, but definitely Summertime Saga. I don't know, guys. I don't know if you guys
yeah.
know that.
Like if you have a lot of
Summertime
time,
Saga is fucking great.
that.
Just Google it, and I'm just saying it now. It's R18, but
are you
just
sponsored?
no, no, no.
Don't you know some of the devs there? What is this silence? What does this mean?
The silence tells
Hello?
us everything.
Wait, did you disconnect?
Nah, nah. I'm just currently looking at the images of Summertime Saga. and
Uh,
this honestly makes me want to play the game right now after we record.
so, yeah, if you got time and you have interest in reading in general, a visual novel can yeah, it's a good use of your time. It's
Hmm.
just up to you on what you want to read and what you think it's worth
Oh,
it.
I remember another game that I
So
would
now,
honestly want to play this with you guys because it's a survival game, but
what is it?
it's called The Isle. It's basically a dinosaur survival game where you go into the world as a juvenile dinosaur and
Oh,
you
wait,
basically
I think
raise
I know
yourself.
that actually. I've heard of that.
But I think you need to have a server, a private server, for this to work. Because it's basically an open world game on Steam where anybody can just come in and playing with
You
random
mean a
people.
battle royale? This loses mind.
Hey, why? Why imprint that on me? Okay, my dreams for these games are shot. GG, GG.
So, those are the my recommendations when you're neat. But now, when you're a working gentleman with very little time, or I don't know, like 2 or 3 hours of gaming time every day, the first thing I'd recommend are mobile games. I know I'm a fucking boomer. I'm playing mobile games. Remember the
Yeah,
time everyone
mobile
hated mobile
gamer.
games?
Ew.
But the mobile game market has evolved a lot. Most of the things that I play are gotcha games, but I'm sure there are some good ones out there.
Oh,
It's
like
it
Genshin.
started from like fucking the fruit cutting game to really complicated RPGs that you can play on the go.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
main advantage of mobile games. You can play it on the go. You can play it while you're headed off to work or you're
I
in public
mean,
transport.
if we're talking about quote unquote legal games, you can like put emulator on your
Oh,
phone.
that's a thing
For
too.
sure.
You can also do that,
That that's what
or
irritates me about iOS the most because I currently have an iOS phone. Is that you can't fucking basically you can't fucking install third party apps, and I'm so
well,
irritated that I can't play Game Boy games on my
well,
phone.
you kind of can, but there's some steps towards
You
it.
know,
In
which we
Android,
are
it's
not promoting.
way easier though. Well, I don't know. Buy a fucking Game Boy. Play Game Boy on the toilet.
I
Who
still have my
cares?
Game Boy. I still have my Game Boy,
Oh
but
my
I
god,
don't.
my Game Boy's gone. I lost it at school. I hate myself. So yeah, mobile games for the people with little time or no time at all. Next is Apex. I would actually recommend this for people who have no time. First, it's really easy to pick up. If you play the first person shooter, you're gonna adjust really fast. Next
Hmm.
is the game times are actually not that long. Like I will compare it to League of Legends. League of Legends, you queue up, you play a 40-minute, 30-minute game. At worst, you end up with like an hour. And once you're
Yeah.
losing, you can't give up. Even if it's hopeless, you keep going or leave like an asshole. But in Apex, my shortest game on Apex is literally 10 seconds. I landed, they killed me, and then I'm back on queue. See how fucking fast that's? I can squeeze 20 games in like an hour if I'm really bad.
Jesus.
And even if
That's on
the
a
end
bad
game,
day.
yeah, I can squeeze a lot of games. Even if you're winning, the circle moves really fast. On the very smallest circle, it's like 20 minutes. 20 minutes
Mhm.
on a full game. That's short as hell. That's not like 40 minutes on a MOBA or like an hour. You see why people I kind of understand why people gravitate towards these games now. Because they're
Yes.
fast. You run in, you die,
Because
you go up again.
I feel like also because like the weight of the loss is much less of a burden compared to a
Yeah.
40-minute to an hour game of LOL.
Which that's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
time
an investment.
invested.
Like
Yeah,
if you
they
die, you can queue up immediately. No fucking
Like,
problems. In LoL, you
like
have to suffer
whereas
30
compared
minutes
to
of pain.
League, where a match
it's
is
like
basically 40 minutes.
it's like
Yeah.
playing an aggro deck on a card game. Like it's
Oh,
Oh,
fast.
for sure,
exactly.
for
That's
sure. On a
exactly how
beat,
it feels.
like a beat down deck where you can just summon your most powerful card.
Even though if you lose, you can just queue up another game and
Yeah.
win
Mm.
that.
So yeah, those are
One
Because,
my
like like
one
I
more
recommendations.
recommendation
yeah,
uh
sure.
I could probably put to you guys on the mobile aspects of the game is Brawl Stars. I think this
Oh,
was developed by the same people who did Clash of Clans,
Oh.
but I feel like it's definitely better. It's a top-down shooter, and
Mm.
it's a battle royale.
Oh my god. Can't really escape that nowadays.
Games would probably take you 10 minutes max, 5 minutes minimum. It's a great way to kill time. But yeah, that's it for
Mm.
my recommendations. Anything you guys want to add?
I'm done with mine. I think it's a pretty
uh,
good
I'm good.
approximation.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay. Whew. So that was a fun talk about video games, toxicity, and it was overall really nice.
yeah,
Any
it
ending
is.
statements from ya boys?
Well, I certainly enjoyed this a little talk with the
Yeah, it
boys.
was
Yeah,
really
hope you
nice.
come back pretty soon, JM. We really enjoyed having you on the podcast.
Yeah,
Thinking about coming in another topic. I
Yeah,
just
just
want
shoot us a message.
yeah,
yeah.
sure. Thanks for having me here.
So that was the House Blend ending. Have fun, everyone. I hope you are all not toxic, because I'd hate
Yeah.
you.
Being toxic,
So
motherfuckers.
see you next week, or
Bye.
maybe
Yeah.
another week. Goodbye.